Yeah.
When we first got this cat, he used to smell. He smelled really bad. He's a junkyard cat. He was surviving off eating the garbage. He came in the house during a blizzard, and we had to take care of him. So what did I do? I administered the silica dioxide. Silica is an adsorbent, which means physically and chemically it's absorbing different things. Chi energy, gases, actual molecules. It adsorbs a lot, and the different types of silica react differently. So after giving him the silica, the parasites started to come out. You see, they always come out in triangles. Every single time, sets of 3 triangles, putting your bones out of place. The source of all illness are these etheric beings. They are like a gas, but they're charged. They're a plasma. Gas takes the form of a container. The plasma is not bound to the limits of our material realm. It can go in any direction, and the way they operate is by moving your bones out of place. They get into your body, they push your bones out of place, and this makes your system stop working. I believe that the 5G technology that the government has been using is increasing these etheric beings in power. And what's actually causing people to be sick are these plasmatic parasites. And while they deny the truth and go to the medical authorities for help, they only increase themselves in...
I feel the little bugs. Like, you see them crawling. Like, you see them crawling. Like, the eggs are all over. Like, if I pop them, they'll just come out. See, it's kind of dark right there. If I pop that, that'd probably be one of the bugs. You see? What? Ew. You want to see where it's coming out of? My feet.
One may ask themselves, how did I come to the conclusion we are controlled by parasites and the way to get rid of them is eating the do not eat silica dioxide packets? The answer is simple. I had heard the crystals on weed were made of silica and decided one day I would eat the do not eat packets. Because life is an illusion. We are in a realm of opposites. What we are told is good is not good. What we are told is bad is usually quite good. And I had a feeling that silica was the same way. I did not think it would unlock this other reality and quote-unquote open the matrix for me, but the truth is it did, and I can't deny that. So eating the do not eat packets caused me to wake up. I'm just gonna say it now because pretty soon I won't even be able to say this on a phone and expect it to be recorded or whatever. But as soon as I came out with this theory, lo and behold, they came out with an onslaught of NFT memes and shit to fucking deceive you and make you think this shit was stupid. Okay, next they're gonna promote the worst person who does this and be like, yo, this dude, he's so stupid. And they're gonna promote him, and he's gonna have some other crazy beliefs, whatever. That's to be expected. But what I hadn't expected was, how come everything in our life is feeding these parasites? The socks keeping our feet stinky and cold and wet with bacteria, the shoes cutting our ankles, the freaking clothes with metal in just the right places, the McDonald's, the KFC, the freaking salt, the sugar. That's what parasites want. They want grease, they want salt, and they want sugar. That's what they live. The Quran says to fast on a new moon. The Apocrypha says to fast on a new moon. The parasites are most active on a full moon. So maybe if you fast while they're least active, you can knock them out. But maybe when they're most active, that's when you gotta eat the most. Like the Arabic fast, you eat the most on the full moon and you fast on the new moon. But that's neither here nor there. What I realized was these things are like, you are filming on like a cheap phone, and you see these little lights flying around, and they look like they're flying like fruit flies or something. And you're like, but there's no flies in here. Everyone's seen them. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. And I started thinking those were them, and I found out I'm right. And if I crack my neck or something, yo, no lie, I'll hear that shit fly into the wall. Sometimes I could kind of see them. I can't really see them per se, but I see like a disturbance, like almost like a glitch effect where I think they are. And you know, I could try to back it up on videotape, so let's see what I can do. Actually, to my surprise, playing this video while editing this video actually made a ton of demons crash into my wall, and they're currently flying around my house, so I'm binding them with the Quran right now. And I managed to capture it on tape. Just hit.
Keep filming.
Okay.
Wait till it shows the thing.
I'm currently in a room filled with demons right now, just from watching that cat video. They're going tick, 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 crashing into the metal parts of the wall. No coincidence, metal is called jinn in Chinese, and the same word jinn in Japanese means person, because the persons get so possessed by the demons. And jinn in Arabic is demon, and the metal, for some reason, makes them crash into it. So there's some kind of weird effect that the metal has on them. So that's some food for thought. You can be the judge, but I recommend everybody try silica at least once, and to really get it to work, you got to keep trying it and never give up. These parasites, the way they work is by leeching on to your musculoskeletal system and your central nervous system, and they slowly push your bones out of place. My nose used to look pretty crooked, and you can see right here kind of a big chunk is missing where they came out, and here too, but it's a lot more straight now. My neck was so out of place. Even one eye was bigger than the other. You'll see this on everyone. Most people have problems breathing out of one nostril or the other. Neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain. This is all from the parasites. They attack the brainstem and go straight for the pineal gland. And you don't have to believe me. But back to this cat for just a moment. This cat is happier than any cat could be. He doesn't smell anymore. He's got some marks just like me of the genies coming out, but I know it's relieving his neck pain. And if anyone knows cats, you know they always do that stretch. And that specific stretch is really cracking the neck and straightening the spine, which is where these parasites go as they head for your pineal gland through the brainstem. And you don't have to believe me, but you do have to believe this cat. Tell him, Groucho. Look at that face. Is that the face of a liar? Now, the way I think these satanic rituals work is when someone appeases the devil, they'll get temporary relief from the demons, And the demons have the usual demonic powers. They can float around and go through walls and go through objects like Casper. They could teleport. They could make items like the genie from Aladdin. And not only that, but they're parasitical in nature, and like true parasites, they control the brain of the host. So the host, which is mankind, and also animal kind, and even inanimate objects, to be honest, if the person appeals the devil, who's really, in control of most of the demons, then they'll get a temporary pass. They get to go have fun and be Bruce Springsteen, the boss, and, whatever. But in the end, they're just working for the demons because they die a horrible death and go to hell, which it fulfills Satan's agenda. So you could see why people appease the devil with these satanic rituals selling their soul, and they do get their little 15 minutes of fame, like the Island Boys. We Island Boy, But nobody cares about that anymore, so it's not worth it. You could just please God and get relief from the genies, like the path I've chosen. Thanks to God, I tried the silica, and thanks to God, I was able to figure out what it's really doing. And thanks to God, I cemented the fact in my mind that we are essentially controlled by parasites. Never mind what's beyond the Antarctic ring. Never mind that. Just for a moment, think about the fact that we're all controlled by these parasites. Now, as far as what's beyond the Antarctic ring, scriptures tell us is Gog and Magog, and there are trillions of them, and they are cannibals. So eventually, we're going to have to deal with invasion of cannibals from Terra Vista, beyond the Antarctic ring. And the parasites, ironically, are actually going to be our only hope. We can't beat them. We're way outnumbered by them. There's no way we could beat them. Every one person would have to kill 1,000 people. It's impossible. But if they eat enough of us, they're going to get our parasites, and yeah, our parasites will probably kill them. They're like 8 to 12 years old, and they're 3 feet tall, and, they're not used to these 5G amplified Morgellon parasites that you could just turn on a cat video and they're crashing into your wall. The parasites in Terra Vista don't have time to get that strong. So actually the parasites are our only hope. So shout outs to them, shout outs to the demons, shout outs to the parasites, whatever you want to call yourselves, Jinns, Morgellons, Devas. Shout outs to them for a second, because they're actually going to help us at that moment. But in the meantime, this is not medical advice, but I personally take silica to relieve the demonic parasites, because the piezoelectric properties of silica seem to be enough, along with its absorbent properties, to just rid my body of them. And maybe it's something else I'm missing, but that's at least what I'm noticing. And then not to mention the fact that carbon has 6 outer rings open in its valence electrons, and silica has 6 outer rings open in its valence electrons. I'm not going to say I 100% believe chemistry is true, but there does seem to be some kind of relationship with them. And they do carbonate almost all the beverages, and they do desilicate the vegetables, so we could be onto something here. But in the meantime, if you want to protect yourself, if you want to open your mind and expand your horizons, I recommend eating the Do Not Eat packets. And yes, it sounds like a meme. That's because they made memes about it after I ate the Do Not Eat packet. And I'm not the only one saying this. There's other people who will say the same thing.
The next reset.
Beyond the Wall.
LGBTQ plus BLM, I love China.
We call it a
USA,
ring.
USA,
You guys might call it the
USA.
Antarctic. There are loads and loads of people, numbering in the trillions. And when the ice melts, remelts, and freezes again, they're going to be able to walk right into the Middle Earth and have their way with us. And they're not going to be nice. They're going to be looking at us like a 2-piece and a biscuit. They haven't had chickens, trees, animals, plants, none of that shit in 2,000 or 3,000 years. That's why we quarantined. That's why we quarantined ourselves. And when the situation is just right, they're going to invade. I'm talking zombie apocalypse. And that is why they call this generation Gen Z. That's why. That's why it's called Gen Z.